Hey guys, it's Jay here. I'm here with the J16 and we're going to go over the new camera positioning sensor for this thing. We also have one for the J36. So let's get close up and just so you guys can see what's going on. So this is our camera right here that's been installed on the bottom of our X-rail. See? We also have to install this, or have this sensor here. This is your camera positioning sensor. That's how it knows where the bed is. And behind here there's a control board for your camera sensor. All right, enough about the hardware. Let's just see how this thing works. So first, I suggest we get a computer that has at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. The more RAM, the better, because you're dealing with large images. Second, with your computer, I highly encourage a mouse. The wheel on the mouse, it acts as, it's really, really nice. I'm lost if I try to use my touchpad on the laptop that's running this. I'm lost in the software without it, so I have to have a mouse. So let's dive right on in and see if we can't get this thing printed. All right, so the images prepare the same way. We go ahead and bring them in and we rip them in our RIN or our RIP software that we have to get them ready to print with the spot color. Then once that's ready, we get to auto positioning. So we go ahead and set our printing height. And while I have you on the phone, if we are manually adjusting the height on this, we don't want to raise this thing up so high that it crushes our camera system. These things are made of plastic and I would not suggest that. So make sure that this is not being raised up, is not being dependent on your machine. On the J16, the head comes down. So if the head comes down, we'll make sure that we don't crush it. There's no safety precautions for that on the CCD. We have the laser here, but if you go into manually moving it up and down, just be careful and cautious that you don't smash your camera. Okay, for the J16, remember it prints 16 inches by 24 inches. The camera prints slightly smaller than that because its scanning path is a little bit smaller. When you get on tech support and they help you calibrate, they'll show you where the scanning area is. So anyways, here is the circle that I'm going to print. And I'm just going to place that anywhere on the bed, just like this. And then we're going to set our printing height, which I've already set the printing height on this because I'm setting up a video for you guys, and of course that's already done. We already have a good nozzle check on the printer and it's ready to print. Okay, I did forget to note that the camera powers on and off with your printer, and then it goes to sleep and hibernates, so when you're not using it. This is the first time we've turned this on, so to get this to wake up, we need to bring the bed all the way forward, and it triggers our sensor right here. This is our sensor here. So we need to bring the bed all the way forward, and this little metal thing that's already there for your limit sensor will drive through this and turn our camera on. If you don't drive it forward when you first start using it, it won't turn on your camera and it'll tell you that it's disconnected. So we just want to make sure we wake our camera up, that way it can communicate to it. Let's dive on into the software. Here is our software. I've already moved the bed all the way forward. Actually, I have not. I'm going to jump into Better Print. You can use this on Print EXP as long as your camera's set up through your printer. We are working on other models and to make this universal. But anyways, we're going to feed and hold feed down and drive forward. Now, some of you don't know this, but you can hold feed down, drive your mouse off the screen, and it just holds feed down for you till you're all the way to the front. Okay, now we're all the way to the front. It hit the sensor. Now our camera's awake. So let's go ahead and shrink this. This is what the icon looks for the CCD or the camera. Okay, so now we're opening up the software. And this is what our software looks like. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring this all the way up so we can see it better. This is where the mouse comes in handy. So we'll actually go to image scan here. And then I'll use the wheel on the mouse and zoom out by just moving the wheel. Then I can press the wheel down and move this around. And this black area is actually going to be what the image scans. I haven't sent this forward to scan yet. Okay, now we'll jump over with this up in the bed all the way forward. We'll jump over to Better Print or Print EXP. You can use Hansen Print EXP. We're also working on different controllers for our machines, but these are what we're using currently. And we'll just press Y reset, and it's going to move all the way back. And we'll go on back over to the camera, and you'll start seeing it scanning the image. And I'm going to leave this in live view here. It scans in, just 24-inch area. Scan in just a minute or two. It's no big deal. Okay, so the very first time this image is scanned, we actually have to come over here to look and click the save button. It's hidden in the right crop, and click save. And then this should disappear. Now it goes over to image processing. We'll come over to image processing. Right here's our image that we've scanned, and we're going to get the select tool. This is like a rectangle drawing select tool, and we're just going to say, I want to print on this thing, and then we'll select it. I'll zoom in with the mouse, and we'll go ahead and just get that as tight as possible. It doesn't have to be tight at all, but I'm going to go ahead and get it as tight as possible. Okay, and with this selected, now we want to create a template. Okay, now we will actually open a file, and I have one on my, and I have just one thrown on my desktop. I called it large round test with spot, and then I'll bring in this image. This is not what it's going to look like to print. It's low quality just for the software. So we'll click this, and then we'll click this button here. So after we select the image, yes, I want to use this image. We click that, and we wait just a second, and it brings the image in. So now we select the image, and we move it to where you want. So if I want it off the circle like this, we can make it, resize it, recrop it, whatever we want here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my arrow key. I'm just going to move it, go. That looks good. All right, so now we're going to take the image, the selection tool again, and we'll draw a square around that square. Okay, and now we have this green line, and we're going to come up to finish template right here. Now you'll see it over here. So the reason why it's over here, we'll select this, is if I had two circles on here of the same circle, that is, it would actually copy what I just did to all of them. And I'll show you that with something smaller than what I'm printing right now. But anyway, so we have this selected, and we click match. And now I'll put the image where we wanted it. All right, now we're going to come over here, and we're going to click print. And what that is doing is actually just generating a file. As we have it successfully generated, and we're going to shrink. And now I just put a CCD pick. It's over here, so we're going to click and refresh this. So I'll just open this back up. Desktop CCD pick. There it is. And we have it set to save as QY. So when you're done printing this, you delete this every time and just save another one. I'm just going to go ahead and select this by double clicking. Now we have this loaded up. If we wanted to print white, we could turn it on. We could print oil, which is your varnish here. We could turn it on if you have the spot channels created in your print from your RIN software. Your spot colors turned on right here. Okay, so now this is on. Go ahead and just print. I found out that I'm out of memory. But anyways, take a look at the CCD and see if it's where we place it. Let's do something a little more challenging. I got poker chips right here, and we're just going to set them randomly. Oops, I didn't need to right. Upside down here, and let's get these things scanned. Let's get our Z-axis set on the proper printing height, and we'll get this thing scanned in. Let's jump over to the software. All right. Now we'll open back up the file. Print that big. Now we're going to jump over to Better Print. Remember to drive your bed all the way forward. Print, and then we're going to click Y, reset. That's going to send us the bed back. I'll probably cut this in and out between live view and what it's scanning, but that's what it's scanning. Between live view and what it's scanning, but that's what it's scanning. Okay, so we're done scanning. We'll go here to and have a hidden button here. So save, save, and then it moves it over to image processing, which is up here. Now we have our image, and we can look at our things really close. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click my selection tool, draw a square chip. Now we're going to click with these, make sure this is actually selected, create a template. Okay, and again, I'm just using my mouse in and out and moving it around. My mouse, I love this thing. Okay, now we'll open the file. We already have we've already run this file through our RIP software, or RIN, with our spot channels if you want to print white or varnish, and saved it as a PRN, just like you would to normally print. Just a single image, too. We come over here, we find our, wherever it is, large round printed. Okay, and then we're going to select this, and then select this, and then it'll drop it over here. Now this takes a second if your computer's a little slow like ours. This only has 16 gigabytes of RAM. Zoom out. Now I'm just going to shrink this bad boy. Zoom in, just like it would be doing like if I'm setting this up on Photoshop or something. All right. I'm just going to bring this to the edges. Get this thing set up in here. Circle. And the image is, I would suggest having your image already set to the size that you want, and you can just set it in with arrow keys. But I'm just going to bring it in here and stretch it, because I did not make this for the poker chip. This was made as this is actually a sign sample that we made. I'm just reusing the image. Don't tell anybody. Now we can also use our arrow keys, as you can see. Or you can just select it with your mouse. All right. I don't really care, to be honest with you, but there it is. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to click the selection tool again, and we're going to select, I want the poker chip with the image we just put in, okay? And then it creates a screen thing. We click Finish Template. I'll zoom on out. Here's our finished template there for reference, and I can actually say, match that to everything that you can. And you can see all of our poker chips, it put it in here. So you can actually select it and move it and change its position if you want. We can select, yeah, we can actually still maneuver this. Say we want to put this over here. Get back in here. If you need to nudge these around or something for any reason, you can move them around. But anyways, here's all of our poker chips. We're all laid out, right? And then we're going to go ahead and tell it to just print. Now, when it prints, all it's doing is saving a new PRN file. It's generating the file right now. You can see here. So now we actually are done with the software. We just close out of it. We don't need the RIP software. We need better print. And then we're going to open up. It's going to save it in the CCD pick right here. As QY is just what we call it to factory save it. This is our image. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And you can see my settings up here. I'm printing color and white. I set up a spot channel for this. I'm going to print single direction because it's so small. We could print however we want if you want to print fast. But hey guys, I'm shooting a video. I want these to be pretty good for you, right? So let's print to the right only. And then we just simply click print, just like you normally would. And here she goes. While this prints, I want to show this off. This is our new stand for the J16. Check it out. Now the computer portion that holds the computer arm doesn't come with it. Some we added, and we're looking forward to trying to add something like that. But check this out. So solid steel construction. Your wheels fit right in there perfectly, right, to hold it in place. We added that. That doesn't come with it. This doesn't come with it. These wheels. All right, guys. Check it out. See, no outlines, no marks, and where to place them. Pretty cool. Well, I'm wishing you guys a lot of luck out there. Again, I'm Jay. This is my to-do list. Thanks for stopping. I almost forgot, guys. Don't forget to wet cap your machines. It's the J16.